The Consumer Price Index, CPI, is a common report used to measure inflation. It differs from other inflation measures by providing a comprehensive measure of the cost of goods and services used by households. This differs from other measures of inflation that may focus on specific consumer items or industry sectors. The CPI looks at prices over time, comparing changes in the cost of goods and services bought by consumers. This is a crucial difference from other inflation measures which generally focus on changes in prices for goods and services in specific industries. Some other measures may not account for the substitution effect. The substitution effect means as one item becomes more expensive, households may substitute it for a cheaper option. The CPI captures this as it compares the cost of living for consumers across a broad range of sectors and takes into account the substitution effect. Other measures may calculate the inflation rate by making assumptions about changes in product prices. The CPI eliminates this by using the actual cost information from consumers for goods and services and does not make any assumptions. Another key difference between the CPI report and other measures of inflation is how it accounts for seasonal changes in prices. The CPI takes into account any recurring seasonal patterns when it calculates the inflation rate, unlike other measures that may leave it out or not consider it accurately. The CPI also looks at the cost of housing, which is often ignored by other inflation measures. This is crucial as housing is a key component of the cost of living for many households. The CPI also takes into account taxes along with non-taxed goods such as education costs, which are often not included in other measures of inflation. The CPI is also influential when it comes to financial markets, as the Federal Reserve monitors the CPI to determine interest rates. Financial markets may take their cue from the CPI report, which differs from other measures of inflation which may not be as closely watched in the markets. The CPI report also uses a fixed market basket of goods and services in its calculations. This differs from other measures of inflation which may use a different set of goods and services or alter their approach to calculating the inflation rate. The CPI report is used to track the rate of inflation in the US and releases data on a monthly basis. Other measures of inflation may have different release schedules and can be subject to revisions. The CPI report also differs in terms of how it takes into account the effects of inflation. It uses a formula to calculate the inflation rate based on changes in the level of prices, whereas other measures of inflation focus on changes in the rate of inflation. The CPI report is also used to calculate the real interest rate, which is an important measure in the economy. Other measures of inflation generally do not consider the real interest rate. The CPI is the most comprehensive measure of inflation and is widely used by economists, businesses, and governments. The CPI report also has the benefit of being widely accepted by both the public and investors, making it more reliable than other measures of inflation.